What's good with y'all? It's C-Mac and I am back for another video. Y'all, look at this. My space is a mess. I'm actually in the midst of rearranging and trying to expand my space. So that's why it's a mess, but there's still work to be done. That's what we're doing today. I'm actually going to be walking you guys through how to use Design Space, what we can use Design Space for, and how to apply Design Space, make stencils, make whatever in Design Space. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. Just stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go. We are actually going to be doing some I'm programmed to say Air Forces. We're going to be doing some Converses.
I want to go in a little bit of detail of how to use Design Space for heat transfers or for cutouts. So I did just Google my image that I want to put on the shoe. This is for a heat transfer sheet. Any image that I want to use, I will snip it and then save it to my desktop. And then I go over to Design Space and upload my image as a complex cut. Remove any background or any axis that we don't want. You can either use the quick erase button or select button, or you can use the eraser to manually do it. So in this case, I have to do it on the hair that was poking out from the other designs on there. You can go up here and preview your design. You'll see how it cuts out. In my case, I really didn't need to remove all the axis just because it's going on a heat transfer sheet anyway. I'm gonna have to cut it out, but I like to do this just to make sure that I'm getting an accurate measurement. So I'll do this to any design or any picture that I want to put on a heat transfer or a cutout image. Same exact process. Once all that is completed, I'll go ahead and click apply and continue, and then save my image as a print and cut. I will then add that to my canvas, size them out to what I need on the shoe. I'll just take the shoe and a tape measure and measure out my space that I want the image. So now you got your measurements. You will go into Design Space, highlight your image that you want to resize, click that more drop down, and manually enter in your height and width. Quick and easy, height and width. Otherwise, you can use the corners on the image to resize if you want, but I find this way more accurate. Now for any text that you want to cut out on the shoe, you'll need to click the text on the left hand side on that panel there. Type in your text and you can pick the font. You can use system fonts. You can go through all of the fonts that they have available on the computer. If you don't see something that you want, you can always use defont.com and download the font to your computer. That's what I most often use. Now that I have my font that I want, I will apply it to my text and then resize anything if needed. I just want to make sure that it matches the height of the heat transfers as well. So you will see me put the design together before I even go ahead and make and cut out and print the image. I did want to add some flowers to the image as well. So I am just searching up in the images, flowers, and then I will be able to scroll through and see what I can use. Some of them do cost, some of them are free. Once I figure out which flowers I want to use, I will add it to my image and then change the color of my images just to make sure that it's printing on the same mat. So you'll see first that the heat transfer pops up first. I'm going to turn the bleed off and then send to my printer. Now that's printed out, I will then hand cut these images. Now for the names and flowers, I am going to use my Cricut machine. Mine is dirty, but mind yours. For this, I will need a iron-on vinyl, color of your choice. So Design Space on the computer will tell you what color needs to be cut first. You can choose between the two mats. In this case, we'll be using the blue first. Just placing the iron-on vinyl face down, and then we want to make sure that we are mirroring our image as well before we even cut it. Once we have our mats ready, we will load it into the Cricut machine. The first flashing button was to load the machine. Now that second button is to now start cutting your images out. Now you just sit back and let the machine do their thing. Always check the progress on the computer. It'll show you the percent that it's cutting at. When it's cutting out any images, I usually start prepping another part of the shoe, whether it's the paint, the paintbrushes, tape job, anything like that. Once it's all cut, you will then take a weeding tool to weed out the part of the material you don't need. And then I usually go in with a heat gun. You can use an iron or anything like that. I usually like to use my heat gun and press on. My heat gun does get hot, so it's harder to use a heat gun, but it works for me. I would definitely suggest an iron or a little small heat press that Cricut has. Same thing with the heat transfer sheets. I will then just start placing them on using that heat gun all around the shoe. There's not really much to that. Just make sure that you're pressing and adhering the material onto the shoe the best that you can, because you don't want it falling off, peeling, anything like that for your customer. So make sure that you are just taking the time and making sure that it is adhering to the shoe properly. So you can see here, without the plastic, I'll go ahead and use my heat gun just to ensure that.
And just like that, the shoes are done. This is all the customer wanted. It was their name, Poppy from Trolls, on there. Very simple, very easy. Let me know if you guys think that I explained how to use the Cricut in Design Space good or not. If you guys have questions on how I did something, or if I missed anything, if you want me to go in more detail about anything, please drop a comment down below. If you think these are fire, which they are super cute. Again, I love doing Converses. I think this is only like my third, maybe fourth pair of doing them. They're always so cute. I love them. Anyways, make sure to drop that like if you guys agree. Comment down below, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified, and as always, stay positive, and you know I'll be back for more videos. Bye.
Get out your feelings and get it yourself. Might got the same shoes, but you ain't gonna step. That shit that you just put out, you could've kept.